Good morning, everybody. This is Diggs. It's another beautiful day out here in the Pacific Northwest, and today we're going to be asking the question, is Ahirman going to be worth pulling this week? We're also going to be going over his Esper stats, his vision card stats, and we'll be talking just a little bit about Lich. So let's go ahead and dig in. I think universally, if you are running any type of a win composition, Ahirman is going to be worth it for you. And there's a couple of reasons for this, which we'll get into. But I think if you're looking for a TLDR, even if you don't have Joom, I don't have Joom, not to remind you guys again, but I'm still going to be pulling on the Ahirman VC because I think, you know, VCs are always powerful, Espers are always powerful, and as double VCs are coming into the future, if you're planning on running any type of an elemental composition, having a second elemental VC is going to help you buff that composition even more. And Wind is one of my strongest teams, so I do want to get this VC. And I also like the Esper as well. So what's the to-do about Ahirman? Ahirman has 1400 HP, attack 111, agility 13, so a little bit on the slow side. He does have stun resistance, 10% resistance to earth, 5% weakness to ice, so keep that in mind. His limit break, as I mentioned in my news video, is interesting in that it doesn't actually deal damage. It actually petrifies, blinds, and silences, along with decreasing wind resistance and increasing attack and magic, etc., etc. It's pretty good. It's pretty interesting. It's nice to have a vision card, or a Esper, sorry, that does something different than what we are traditionally used to. And also his board is built in a different way than what we might be used to as well. His board actually gets rid of evocation damage and actually replaces it with critical hit rate. You have accuracy, you have wind attack, you have defense up, you have HP up going in a slight direction, you have slash resistance. It's just all over just a little bit of a different type of Esper. And I think that's another reason, kind of a versatile change in what you might be used to is always good in changing things up and keeping your team relatively powerful and alive and relevant. And I think having access to critical hit rate, slash resistance, HP, wind attack, defense up, this is all, like, of course that's going to be all things that are really good for Joom, but you'll notice I didn't say slash attack, right? Which means that Ahirman is going to be viable for a lot or almost any attack-based wind unit in the game, which is quite a few units, actually. In terms of the VC here, the VC is really good, and I think this is this kind of harkens back. We had a discussion back when the Christmas Luartha VC came out, because there was some overlap here, right? There was an overlap with the attack up party-wide wind buff, but I actually think there's a place, even with double VCs, where both of these VCs may be set in the main position. You know, of course, maybe other people have different opinions. We're not really going to know kind of the best builds for single element VCs for the global side, because we have global exclusive vision cards, right? And, you know, all of that type of stuff. But I think there's a case that this is going to be a very powerful, very relevant VC for any wind-based composition, not just if you are having Joom. Now, it does come with good HP, good attack, 130, defense 3, which is always good. The individual unit is going to get attack plus 10%, single hit resistance plus 10. The party-wide buff is going to be magic resistance 20, and then increases attack 25%. Again, this is where the overlap with the other VC comes in, but I think you may be valuing the magic resistance and the dexterity so much that you may overlap this with the Christmas Luartha VC. And then, of course, party-wide, when it's maxed out, is going to give dexterity plus 35%, which is going to be really powerful, of course, for any kind of critical hit rate formation. It's just going to be really the way to go. And I think, you know, you're going to want to get this. There's also a global exclusive buff, which gives an individual unit HP plus 10%. You could put this on Uldoa, right? You could put this on, you know, any attack-based unit that is going to be, you know, either taking a hit or potentially a brawler. You could put this on Tifa, right? There's a case to be made for putting this on Tifa if you know, we end up putting Tifa's VC in secondary VC slot because it doesn't buff party wide as much as, say, the Ahirman VC does. There's a lot of things going on here that are going to make this a really interesting and really talked about card as we go into the future. And I think this VC is very important to pull, especially if you have a win formation, whether or not you have Joom. This is going to be a VC to go for. Now, let's talk about Lich, because Lich is also releasing simultaneously here. Lich, of course, is a free VC and a free Esper. Lich is going to have HP 276, AP 20, which is actually really good, Magic 108. I think oftentimes we overlook VCs when they do have AP on them, and I think that's kind of a bad trend. I think AP is a very relevant stat, particularly if you're going for specific strategies, and particularly, again, as we're going into double VCs, I can't stress enough, double VC is coming, and you know, all of these things are things that you're going to have to start factoring in that you may not have factored in before. The individual buff is going to be magic 10%, HP 8%, not the best. The party effect is going to be magic attack plus 20 for earth units. It's also going to be increased max damage, 750 for earth units. Max damage, one of those things that carries over 100% in a sub VC slot. So this is going to be one of those VCs that we are probably going to see in the sub slot in earth formations, particularly in formations that are trying to utilize more max damage. Since it is 100% carryover, it would be 750 plus whatever is in the main VC slot. So if you had like plus 1200 and then you have plus 750 in the secondary slot, you could be looking at plus 1950. The other thing you may want to think about, though, is you might be setting like two-headed dragon and another earth damage up VC. You never know, so factor that all in. And then finally, it does give earth party-wide units slash resistance 15%, which, you know, slash resistance I will always take. I think slash resistance is universally, like, it's up there with magic, but I would say slash and magic are the two resistances that I would take no matter what. I think they are universally good. If you're kind of setting up your arena team or your PvP team to try and be universally, you know, capable of combating as many teams as possible, you're probably going to go for slash resistance, magic resistance, or unit attack resistance in some form. Now, let's take a look at the Esper for Lich. The Esper for Lich is very cool as well. Of course, 100% hit on the Esper ability, critical chance minus 15. Not the best of abilities. It's kind of like Behemoth, where it's based on the center of the caster. So you are not going to be, you know, running off and casting this a ton. What's really nice about Lich, though, is going to be the Doom resistance, 20% Doom resistance. This, of course, is very relevant when you are doing specific PvE content, whether it's in Tower or whether you're all of a sudden in select quests, right? And you're going up against like a King Elda who is going to use his Doom Spear ability on you. Being able to have Doom resistance on units that are not just your 100 cost special units, which is what most of the time Doom resistance is on for those characters, or a white mage who has the passive set to resist Doom, is always a good thing. And I will always take that 20% Doom resistance opposed to no Doom resistance if I'm going into a fight where I know Doom is going to be present. Lich, though, primarily magic-based Esper, 93 magic on his board, low agility, 11 agility, dexterity 65. You know, nothing too remarkable here. On the skill tree, again, the skill tree for Lich is a little, I mean, it's not my favorite. It is not my favorite. There's no earth attack up. You have magic attack up 15 with TP up 6%. You have TP up 10%. You have defense up 10, which could be good if you were running him with like Kilfei or, you know, potentially Halloween Ryryu. But again, this is not earth attack, this is magic attack, so keep that in mind if you are running him with Halloween Ryryu. And then you get things like strike resistance, right? Which is like the main focus here. You can see it has like 20% strike resistance, demon killer, lightning killer, wind resistance. And it's like, are you really wanting to put an Earth Esper on and focus on strike and wind resistance? Probably not. Maybe if you want to survive like a Tifa, if that's your plan. But it's just not the best Esper in the book. It is going to be like, if you don't have like Bahamut or an Esper that would go really good on Kilfei or Halloween Ryu, right? It's definitely not like a Spellblade Esper. You're going to want to really think about this. And I think most of the time Lich is almost primarily going to be used for that PvE Doom resistance. Maybe for defense if you're going for a really high defense build, but we are seeing so much defense penetration in the world right now, and the only units that I can really think that would utilize so much defense and magic attack would be like Luel and Kilfei. And even then, magic attack plus 15 is so minuscule compared to being able to set like Maneater and magic up from Bahamut, or you know, one of these other Espers with like Earth attack up potentially. You know, you really have to know what you're doing when you are placing the Lich Esper. Anyway, everybody, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys all have a great rest of your day. Please pull on the Ahirman Esper in VC. Going to be very good. I 100% say you will not regret it. I will hopefully see you guys all on stream tonight. Definitely pulling for Ahirman, and I'm kind of excited for the Alophicolis raid. I'm excited to see what's going on there. So have a good one, everyone, and I'll catch you guys next time.